Hello, hello, hello. We're back for another episode of Are You Effing Serious? As usual, I'm your boy JC from Jersey, and this is my friend.
Tex, what's going on, folks?
We're ready. We're going to jumpstart you into some news.
Let's get it.
Now, there's a Tupac Shakur biopic in production.
Okay.
By John Singleton.
All right, that sounds good. Directing, and I think you said this would also be produced by Terrence Howard, I believe.
No, there's another picture. The Tupac script that he wrote in prison is being directed by Terrence Howard.
see.
Two separate Tupac films.
Okay, all right.
Which is always good.
I want to make sure I'm clear. All right, okay,
Absolutely.
so that's awesome. So, biopic with Pac, John Singletary. Great, brilliant director, from Boys in the Hood. So I think, if he were to direct a Tupac movie, that it would be a really, really good movie. What do you think?
I think it'd be great. I think the dynamic of his life, his mother was a Black Panther, and then growing up in New York and in Baltimore, his rise to fame, and then the issues with Suge Knight. I'm sure it's going to be a very interesting movie.
Okay.
A lot of plot holes, a lot of big story arcs in there.
All right. I figure, the whole great hip-hop debate was always Biggie and Pac. Mm-hmm. And so I guess once Biggie got a movie, you have to do one for Pac. But I guess since Biggie got his first, I guess we, know who was better.
He had a hell of a run anyway. I really want to see when he started in the rap industry as a background dancer for Digital Underground. I want to see that.
Yeah, it was actually not even before the background dancer. He was, a roadie. Actually,
yep.
Carrying luggage and stuff. So yeah, I'd like to see that part of it.
I'd like to see the instances of Death Row, his friendship with MC Hammer and other people. I'd really like to see that play out on film.
I think that'd be awesome. Who do you think you'd like to see play Tupac? He's a very small man, very small stature.
I think the gentleman that was in the MC Hammer movie and played Tupac, I forget his name, but I think he did a good job.
Anthony
Mackie.
Yeah.
I think he'd do a good job.
Okay, that's an idea. I guess because of, I'm thinking I'd be looking for somebody, that's in that same stature, that I'll be able to go ahead and pull it off. This is going to sound weird, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. Because Tupac was a tiny man, automatically I think if you cut Amarian's hair, you can go ahead and fit him into that tiny man role. But if you're not looking at size, you're not going to base this on size. And I know it sounds crazy, but I would love to see Omar Gooding play this role. Even though he is essentially the wrong skin color, the wrong size.
Omar would have to slim down a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of who else I think, could really do that role. And as far as a lot of the, the leading men, that we have, I can't think of anybody that's going to be, you know what? It's you.
I don't know. It's tough to visualize an actor, especially when he got into that image of thug life.
Right.
If you're not that intimidating of a guy and you're going to be doing the thug life gimmick, they're going to have to give you some fake tats and shit. I don't know. Might not work.
But I think that's the reason, why, I am worried about that, Mm-hmm. And this is the reason why I say, are you effing serious? Because it's
Definitely.
You're going to make a Tupac movie? Who's going to play Tupac? Who?
Maybe just get an unknown that has a little bit of charisma. Sometimes they do that. It works.
Maybe. I'm available. I don't look like him, but I'm available.
Are you going to tell us how you get around Texas? Get around,
I will. But
round and round.
Like I said, there's nobody that not even in the rap game. And I hate to say it, the best person that I could pick from the rap game to play the role is Ja Rule.
When I was in high school in the late 90s, we always had this debate, who was the next coming of Tupac? Mm-hmm. And it would always turn into three names, and that was one name that came up. There was always three names thrown around. It would always be Nas, DMX, and Ja Rule. Everybody throw those names around. Who's the next Tupac? And they'd always debate, this guy has more characteristics. This guy's the same height. This guy got more skills.
Right.
Right? It'd always be that same debate. Now, yeah, I could see Ja Rule because Ja Rule's a smaller guy, and Ja Rule kind of looks similar. X doesn't.
Ja Rule, bald head, like you said, similar. The nose. Like I said, he can do things, like I said, to help him definitely convey the image more. But again, he already did that enough of himself just by being Ja Rule.
There you go.
The only other thing I could think, in regards of Ja Rule, there was one other person in the music industry that I thought might be able to play the role. Mm-hmm. but I forgot. So, moving on.
We're moving on. The Taste of Philly is expanding. It's going to be expanding into California and the South. So things like Tony Luke's cheesesteaks, Wawa, and Italian water ice.
Rita's Italian Ice. Okay.
So what do we think about this?
I mean, I think it's great that, you know, that the East Coast influence is able to go ahead and, you know, move further out, you know, go ahead and share with some of the other people. Because you have people that, you know, from the East Coast that move, you know, out west. And, you know, sometimes they want to have, you know, that taste of home or a little bit of something. Like, it's always great when you're driving down the street and, like, you see a restaurant or something. It's like, oh, man, I haven't been there in so long. So, I mean, I think that's going to be great. On the other side of it is, I mean, Rita's, yeah. Wawa's and Tony Luke's,
I don't know. People love Wawa in Richmond for some reason. They tell me it's relatively new in the last decade, and people love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
So-
it's considering that 7-Eleven was the alternative prior to that.
There is, compared to Wawa, 7-Eleven is dog shit.
Exactly. So, you know, even though they're trying to revamp to compete, you know, again, that's why they like it because it's newer. But I mean, as far as cheesesteaks, you know, I'm not really, you know, people outside of Philadelphia really don't care about cheesesteaks. The only people that care about cheesesteaks are people that live inside Philadelphia or Jersey. And the thing is, I think they're fucking idiots because they're having debates over what type of cheese to put on it when the only proper cheese to put on a steak and cheese is provolone.
Well, as a Jersey guy, I'll say I don't necessarily endorse the spray cheese on my cheesesteak they do in Philly. But at the same time, American cheese, provolone, Swiss, I don't care. It's steak and cheese with a piece of bread. That's the formula. It doesn't,
Exactly.
Don't deviate from steak, cheese, and bread. If you deviate from steak, cheese, and bread, you're going to go out of business.
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen. I mean,
So,
that's why there are no famous California steak and cheese places. Because if you were to go out there, they're going to, you know, get you
Look
some.
at you like, what the
you know, they're going to give you some, you know, thinly sliced, you know, sirloin tip.
Yeah.
You know, with some age, you know, this is going to be some extra bullshit. So, you know what? Nobody cares. It's like in Philly. That's the only time they really care.
It's like
because think about it too. The other side is you go to some places in Philly, they use steakums. You go to other places,
you're right.
they use actual, you know, ribeye steaks. So I mean, so it's like
It depends.
nobody cares.
It really depends on what kind of bread they use. If they use pan de agua, that's basically a bread that we have up north, pan de agua, which is a nice thinner bread, and it tastes better. If you use the thick bread, not as good. Always varies flavor. Everybody has a different flavor palette.
Yeah.
But I would say, you know, is it going to do well? Could it do well on the West Coast Shore, down south? You know, same thing.
Not so much.
You know, ice, water ice. I don't know. Maybe the kids love the water ice.
I mean, you know, I know there's Ritas out of Midlothian. Like I said, you know, when it's warm, they stay busy. Seeing the ones out in California too. You know what I'm saying? Texas. I mean. Not California. Seeing the ones out of Texas and how, you know, busy they were. I think Italian ice is something that, you know, it's universal, especially since they also sell it in the freezer section. So, you know, people are able to get those tastes and flavors and then know. Tony Luke's, nobody knows about Tony Luke's. And when you get it, they're going to be like, okay. It's going to be a hit or miss.
Tony Luke's is the third place cheesesteak place in Philly anyway. You go to Geno's.
Everybody.
You don't go to fucking Tony Luke's. You go to Geno's. Hell, I'd rather go to Atlantic City Sub Shop. In that area. Fuck that. Atlantic City Sub Shop's better than Tony Luke's.
See?
Import that shit. That's what you should do. Well, moving on. A movie that this gentleman said a couple weeks ago that really wasn't that good. I didn't see it, so it hit $1 billion very fast in the last week. Fast and the Furious 7 is an international smash, breaking all kinds of records. In Europe especially, billions of dollars, and it's already an announcement that Part 8 is in development. I can't believe I'm saying this as we speak.
I can't either.
Fast and the Furious 7 was the biggest movie of this year. So far, mind you, we're only in the 4th month of the year.
I got to tell you, though, I believe that the reason why it made it to that is because it's kind of like somebody telling you, hey, there's a movie. And in the movie, you're going to be able to see this, you know, an actual person die. You know what I'm saying? You know, during the car scene, you know, you're going to be able to see, you know, where something hits this guy and that guy died for real. And then all of a sudden, everybody's going to want to watch that movie to watch that part. Because, see, the thing is, when Paul Walker died during the making of the movie, essentially, the fans and everybody else didn't know how far along the movie was. They didn't know, is it, you know, first, you know, Did they have the first half? Because they don't shoot movies straight through people. They shoot them in sections and all around.
Whatever's convenient for the staff.
Yeah, and then they put it together. So they don't know exactly when and how he really disappeared. So they want to see, because know that his brother came in to fill in. Mm-hmm. A lot of people want to see exactly, can I tell when it's Paul Walker and can I not? And I hate to say it, it's a really fucked up kind of game that these people are playing. Now, by them doing it, though, it's helped, the franchise generate money and so on and so forth. But again, a sequel is not the answer. A sequel is not the answer. He's been in every single Fast and Furious. How are you going to make a part 8 without the star of the Fast and Furious? Vin Diesel, Paul Walker. Those are the two stars of the Fast and Furious. You cannot have a movie without either one of them to win it. And here I'm going to give you the fucked up part. When they did the Tokyo Drift, it sucked so bad because they waited until the end to bring in Vin Diesel.
Literally while the credits are going to roll.
Yeah. So it's that's why that sucks. So you're not going to be able to pull off that, essentially on a number 8, you're not going to be able to pull that off of me where I'm going to be able to, fall in and believe that, he was alive the whole time, or you made this whole movie.
I think what it is, the cast became so star-studded in the last couple incarnations. Mm-hmm. It's very difficult to discern the core group and what is considered the group now. Mind you have Tyrese, Ludacris,
the Asian guys, the Hispanics guys,
the Hispanic guys. You got The Rock. You got Rock's a big star now in the movie business. So you might not have Paul Walker. I mean, God bless the guy. Hope he's wherever he's at. Mm-hmm. Hope he's doing good. The Rock, I guess The Rock can kind of fill the shoes. I'm not saying that to be malicious.
I don't see how a big Samoan guy is going to fill a little tiny white guy's shoes. I'm just saying.
I'm saying star power wise. I'm saying box office draw.
I think they're probably going to try to replace him. Go ahead and bring in, a family, a cousin member, a cousin, family member, or somebody.
What if they just bring in his brother and they just say, well, that's his brother?
Well, no, I mean, I'm not. Well, I'm talking about as far as the story. I believe they'll try to portray him. Something happened to him, and they're going to bring somebody in to basically try to avenge him or whatever. I think that's how they're going to play it. But I mean, either way, you're right. By them bringing in so many actors, it's drawn away, and it made people, believe that these are, action stars. Because to be honest, I cannot think of any series that has made it to 8 that was not a horror movie. And I'm talking,
you're correct.
It is followed, because I think Star Trek, got to 7. Mm-hmm. But I mean, yeah, so it's going to be groundbreaking. But again, I have to say, are you effing serious? Paul is dead. Let the franchise die with him. Gracefully and in peace.
Moving on. So, Aaron Hernandez, the bad boy of the NFL, the verdict came down. Now, Tex, you want to tell him? You're a big football fan. Let him know the news.
Guilty. He's guilty. First-degree murder. I don't understand why athletes get involved into these situations and things like this, and it's sad. When it's such a young man, so talented, experiences something like this. But I mean, if you can't do the crime,
we're not shocked by this.
No, you can't do the time.
Don't do the crime. We're not shocked.
No. I mean, to be honest, he wasn't that super premier player.
Yeah,
he was just on a premier team.
Gotcha.
Like I said, I mean, unfortunately, he wasn't Ray Rice. Not Ray Rice. Ray Lewis. He wasn't. The mount. That center nut of the team. Mm-hmm. Because if he was, I believe he would have had better lawyers and would have been able to do better. And to get better. Well, think about it. Ray Lewis kills a person. He doesn't go to jail. Plexico Bird shoots himself and goes to jail. Mm. Can we say unequality?
I mean, I don't know. A Latino playing in the NFL is always like this is a new generation thing. When I was a kid, there was no Latinos in the NFL.
Very few, or Asians.
So as a Hispanic, I'd like to say I'm very proud of you, sir. I'm not proud of the murder. I'm proud that you made it, but I can't endorse you as a Hispanic. I got to put my head down and.
I mean, even Tony. Even Tony Gonzalez, though, like I said, I mean, I think, a good example. So we're going to look to Tony to be the shining example.
God bless you, Tony.
Of Hispanics in the NFL.
Yeah, we got to give somebody some praise.
Yeah, so, Aaron, hopefully, things will work out in your favor. Maybe you'll be able to, not get ass raped. But, I mean... Moving on. Tiffany New York Pollard, best known from The Flavor of Love and I Love New York, had botched breast implants. She's going to be on reality TV showing them. Now, my buddy here saw the photos recently. Yes, I did.
He has a lot to say.
Yeah, so this TV show, Botched, is going to go ahead and premiere, and it's basically reality TV series about, botched breast surgeries. And like you said, New York's going to be the first one. Now... when you see the show, her on TV, you always see her, they're always, setting up high. But then when you see them things, I mean, like, they're like damn near down to her navel. It's kind of, I'm to give you an idea of what we're working with here. I want you to imagine if I were to take 2 milk duds, and Hold on. I want you to imagine I take these 2 milk duds and I go ahead and I get a Twix. And I go ahead and I put these 2 milk duds on a Twix, right? So
this motherfucker's making me hungry.
I'm serious. This is a Twix. I'm sure. Let's say I put them out where they are. You know what I'm saying? But then let's just say I put it out in the sun, and then they go ahead and they slide down about halfway. That's what them shits look like. Those fuckers are like just, and they're still round though. But like you can see all the stretched skin, and it's like she's a small girl, so she shouldn't have went that big anyway. But it's the fact that it's like, I mean, just. I don't think it's the fact you can say it's a botched job. It's the fact that nature has taken its time and its course. And you just look fucked up, dear.
It's funny because New York is maybe 33. She's not an older woman at all. She's only in her early 30s. And how her breasts sagged, I don't understand. I thought saggy breasts was something for a 50-year-old.
You can tell when you look at the pictures that she had no titties at all. She was a very small, like A cup small. She
was like little Kim back in the day?
Yeah, like she might have been a B cup. I mean, if anything, but it's like, then she went to a D cup, and like you said, you see she has, there's no frame up here in order to support that.
It was too much?
Yeah. I mean, that's all it is.
So she got a little greedy?
The skin, you can see that her skin is just sagged and just pulled and stretched down. I mean, what's the little balls, the click-clack balls, you pull one back and it clicks and knocks the other, like that's what it looks like. If she would have bent over, it would just be
So if you were playing with them, it'd be like,
it's gross. And like you said, it'd be like playing with a 50-year-old titties. And like you said, it's sad that you're 30-some years old and your titties look 50. It's a terrible shame.
So that's a lesson, ladies. If you're a smaller woman, do you really need big breast implants?
And if you do get larger implants, you need to understand that, your skin, it's flexible. It's going to stretch.
Yeah.
And because it's going to stretch, what starts up here, gravity is going to bring down here. So, when you start here, it's going to get to your stomach. So, like I said, if you want to have, nice perky tits right around here when you're 40 and you get an implant, you got to get them shits up here on your fucking collarbones so they drop down properly. I'm just saying.
Oh, man. Well, we got to move on to probably one of the best stories of this episode. The TSA. The TSA has been patting down grown men. Now, this happened in the Denver airport. Now, my buddy here is going to clue you in about what happened. It sounds so ridiculous. Me as a grown man being groped by another man is...
And that's the biggest thing right there, The story is that in Denver International Airport, 2 TSA screeners, are actually involved in this. Mm-hmm. And actually the thing is, the whole scandal is that 2 screeners have basically been involved in a scheme, basically to grope male passengers. Now, when you hear that, automatically you're thinking, hopefully these are women that are doing this. But it's not. It's one woman and one guy. And what will happen is the female half of this team would essentially go ahead and indicate on the computer when a guy that, the male screener thought was attractive, when a guy was coming through, she would turn on the computer to make it show that it was a female instead of a male. So then the computer basically registers that there is an anomaly in the genital area. And so, of course, you're going to have to search that. But so now and then, so they have it on video where, you know, the guy's like patting down these guys, you know, crotch with the palm of his hand, which is against TSA policy. Now, already I feel that the screening policy of TSA is invasive enough. But but now we have to look at the fact of this is where, like, you have people doing stuff like this. So how many times was it like, you know, that somebody did do something that was wrong, or somebody did go above and beyond what they said they were supposed to do, but there was nobody there to back them up, you know, with the claim that, hey, you know, they're doing it wrong. You actually have to investigate, because this is part of an investigation. This isn't just it happened one time and somebody, you know, checked into it. This had been going on repeatedly. And so, I mean, it's like, how is it, I mean, how am I supposed to feel safe traveling on an airplane if I feel like I can't even get, you know, if I go on the plane, I have to worry about getting blown up and killed by terrorists. If even before I get on the plane, I have to worry about being sexually assaulted by my fellow countrymen.
I don't really want to go to Denver now.
No, I don't want to travel at all now. That's how, I mean, because there has to be an example made, you know, of these two people. It has to be more than just firing them.
Jeez,
I mean, because here's my thing. If you groped me, I know you groped me. I filed my complaint, and the thing is, just like if somebody were to assault someone, there should be criminal penalties involved with it, and maybe even civil penalties as well. Because here's my thing. You could be the hottest woman in the world. Better yet, I need a hot woman. You could be Christina Milian, or Scarlett Johansson, or I'm gonna just say, or any other sexy actress, you know, famous actress that, you know, people, you know, find attractive. You could walk up, you know, it could be her, and, you know, and she could, you know, touch me, you know, and to be honest, it's kind of like, if I'm not, you know, initiating or wanting it, it's going to be unwanted, and it's going to, you know, feel like harassment. Even if the person is attractive, beautiful, and everything. And so it's the matter of, imagine this is some busted, ugly motherfucker that's doing this shit. So I can only imagine that I'd be trying to sue personally. I mean, I want you to go to jail, and I need some money for my pain and suffering.
It just sounds so weird. What happened to our personal freedoms?
Oh, man.
Especially, can you imagine if they did that and by accident they search a transgender?
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine we think about that? Like, they're carrying something, all right.
Or even a hermaphrodite, you know what I'm saying? And so it's the matter where, you know, just people abusing the system just makes it worse for everyone. Because now every time I go, you know, to take a flight somewhere, you know, I'm going to be wondering if he's going to be, you know, grabbing my package. I mean, the bad part is I used to have that fear with cops. You know, I would get stopped with cops when they want to frisk you, you know, and I would always be worried, you know, about them, you know, touching me inappropriately. But now TSA? Wow.
It's bad enough just to have to take your shoes off and your belt off to go in the airport nowadays.
Yeah.
That's a pain in the ass. I'm not saying you shouldn't.
Put everything in all those separate bins.
Your phone, your keys, make sure, and then they're like, and then just in case they want to fuck with you, then they pull you over to strip search your ass.
Yeah.
They make a spectacle out of it.
It's crazy. I mean, you know what? I hope stuff like this doesn't happen again. You know, this is definitely a, you know, are you effing serious topic here. We did have one more, but unfortunately, we don't have time for it. But we do want to thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Are You Effing Serious? Again, I'm your boy Tex, and with me always is
Jersey.
And until next time, Godspeed.